This is my 1-minute inspiration. The 90s are regarded as one of the best generations for movies, television shows, and even toys. But somewhere along the line, the mass populace has forgotten about the one film that is a giant in the world of 90s kids. This film doesn't just appeal to the inner child of kids that grew up in the 90s. It encompasses great cinema that happens to be geared towards children. This masterpiece I'm speaking of comes from a comic strip that created one of the most beloved minions of mayhem, Dennis the Menace. This 1993 film has gathered numerous rotten reviews from mindless critics that do not understand great filmmaking if the general audience is children below the age of 8. Dennis the Menace is a cartoon strip come to life. The casting done by Janet Hershenson and Jane Jenkins is flawless. Walter Matthau is brilliant as the neighborhood grump, and Mason Gamble is irreplaceable as the mischievous toddler Dennis. Robert Stanton and Leah Thompson play Mr. and Mrs. Mitchell, and let me tell you, they do a phenomenal job. Christopher Lloyd is perfect as Switchblade Sam, and unlike the late, great Roger Ebert, who did give the film a decent rating, I do not feel like Switchblade Sam is too scary for children. Bridget Kelly and Ann Roth helped create Dennis's world with superb costumes for each character. The characters of Margaret, Joey, and Mrs. Wilson are so similar to the television show and comic, and the newer take on Dennis's wardrobe is very natural and believable. The plot is simple but lovable. It mixes good comedy with a little drama and one heart-swelling character arc. The direction is classic, especially thinking of Dennis going limp while Alice pulls him towards Margaret's house, or Switchblade Sam cracking his teeth together at the town sheriff. The writing is memorable and relatable. We could put on a play, or a puppet show. We could bury you alive. I could pound your face. The great Jerry Goldsmith rounds out this wonderful film with a score that we 90s kids know by heart. Nick Castle, John Hughes and company created one of the most beloved and underrated films to date. A film should not solely be based on the ratings alone. What should be looked at is how well it creates the world, the story, and its characters. Dennis the Menace is a monumental success in those three areas. So do yourself a favor. Watch this film and take a trip to a quaint neighborhood where nothing happens. Unless your neighbor is Dennis Mitchell.